Good evening, my dear friends. I welcome you all to the Hindu and the Businessline editorial analysis on July 30th, 2022. The arrest and sacking of Partho Chatterjee from the Bengal cabinet is a jolt for the democratically elected and most popular government of the matriarch Srimati Mamata Banerjee in West Bengal. There is a slip between the cup and the lip, and the voiced ideals of the matriarch are under test. The ideology put forward by the TMC in West Bengal as well as all over the country is coming under so much distress with such revelations, and the person who is supposed to be the watchdog of democracy sitting in the cabinet in the power is doing wrongs. 50 crores has been seized from the cabinet of Sri Partho Chatterjee, who has been later sacked from the party post. The fact that he had held even the general secretaryship position of the TMC, Trinamool Congress, is a shocking revelation. This is a very clear stand from the TMC team that no such corruptions will be tolerated. TMC, the boat or the ship, has survived many wrecks in the past. Before the 2016 election, in which it was voted to power for the election and the voted to power, it had the Narada scam. The second time it was voted to power in 2016. And in the first 5 years of its rule between 2011 and 2016, the Narada scam rocked the very edifice of the foundation on which TMC stood. And it was followed by the Sharda chit fund scam. That many of the top in the political order were involved in such scams made the position very much pathetic for the ruling TMC. However, it managed to come to power for the second time. This happens in West Bengal. One party constantly wins elections for several 5-year slots. During the second tenure, the TMC managed to cut the ice with the people, and it could become victorious even in 2020 elections. So, this is the third time the TMC is in power in West Bengal. And the TMC management has played its cards very safely and adequately, which is vindicated by the fact that the moment the Enforcement Directorate caught hold of its top minister Partho Chatterjee, he was ousted from all party positions. This is the damage control mode in the TMC in West Bengal. This is a very great lesson to be learned by all political parties, those who aspire to win the hearts of millions and billions all over the country. In West Bengal, the primary focus was rooting out of the corruption. Shockingly, another corruption in the West Bengal School Service Commission, where the eligible candidates were not given the slot, but those who paid very richly towards getting the top posts were given the slot. That was another round of corruption. And this is the fourth round. Corruption is raring to go away from the politics, whether it be West Bengal or in any other state of India. However, how to deal with the corruption is the key, and TMC is believed to have managed properly by throwing the corrupt odd out and throwing him for investigations by the Enforcement Directorate. And moving on to Tunisia. Tunisia, which has held a referendum. Referendum means direct voting by public on a policy of the government to enact a new constitution. Referendums are held when a new constitution has to be ushered in a democracy. What referendum now is for Tunisia is to bring about a new constitution which would support the Kais Saidi's one-man rule. That is the presidential rule. Kais Saidi came to power in Tunisia in 2019. Since then, within a very short span of time, he could make the people, the public believe that his one-man rule was the only one which could save Tunisia. Tunisia had seen Arab Springs just like Libya and Egypt. In 2011, Kais Saidi, the present president, who is making all weathers favor him for the one-man rule, was the key person in the 2011 Arab Spring. Following the Arab Spring, Tunisia saw a multi-party democratic government which ended last year in 2021. In 2021, Kais Saidi, the president, had dissolved the parliament and had thrown out the prime minister. There ended the democratic rule. Kais Saidi's rule, as the president saw the unemployment rise to a 16% level, the inflation hovering at 8%. However, the 30% of the public who voted for a new constitution referendum had favored Kais Saidi. His popularity has declined from 82% in 2019 to just 68% in 2021. So, A constitutional authoritarianism is what Tunisia is undergoing now. The constitutional authoritarianism means the person who could save a country from the glitches of misrule and the difficulties, economic and socio-economic difficulties, was himself responsible for overthrowing the fair-fetched systems the country is already possessing and favoring a rule in which he was the state. That is constitutional authoritarianism for you. Moving to the business line. In Hindu editorial analysis yesterday, I discussed about BSNL's revival package by the central government to the tune of 1.64 lakhs rupees. Today, the breakup of which is discussed in the business line. The breakup goes just like this. 44,000 crores would be devolved towards fetching the spectrum for BSNL. BSNL is yet to go about with the 4G services, the 4G rollout. So it will help BSNL to have the 4G rollout this year. And the government guarantee, the sovereign guarantee for the loans to the tune of 33,000 crores. And the breakup goes to the tune of 44,000 crores for meeting the AGR dues. AGR dues are being extracted from the telecom companies for its spectrum sharing. BSNL had a huge dues of about 44,000 crores, which will be covered through this revival package. BSNL is entering a competitive field where the duopoly is the misnomer. Duopoly in the form of Airtel and Reliance Jio is cornering the subscribers to cough up more of their funds towards the tariff charges. It is hoped that with this pet public sector's foray into this duopolistic telecom spectrum and the telecom space, the tariffs would be pretty evened out. Indian governments plan to disinvest most of its Maharatna and the very catchy organizations and companies like LIC, BPCL. This bailout of BSNL shows that BSNL's niche in government's policy spectrum, the niche it occupies in the government's policy spectrum, the more importance which BSNL deserves and commands in the policy spectrum of the central government. BSNL has made over 50,000 crores of losses in the last 5 years, says Ashwini Vaishnav, the IT minister. However, central government had bailed out the voluntary retirement package to the tune of 44,000 crores, which helped to reduce its wages. Out of 74,000 crores dues to the employees, BSNL has managed to take from the central government 44,000 crores. A public sector a public sector company of the mode of BSNL, received 15-point revival agenda, revival package scheme policy from none other than Sam Pitroda, the great economist. Sam Pitroda proposed that the procurement scheme should not be based upon the cheapest tender. However, the best tenders e-procurement policy should be followed. Then, he also proposed that a CEO from the private sector should be appointed in the management of the BSNL. BSNL still follows its oldest procurement policy of choosing the cheapest vendor. A cheapest vendor would definitely not be the preferred source when it comes to technicalities of the telecom sector. So it is hope that BSNL would consider this 1.64 lakhs package as the last parachute being offered by the central government and harp on this opportunity to go ahead by following the 15-point scheme, 15-point measures suggested by Sam Pitroda, the greatest economist of all times. Friends, I have come to the conclusion of today's Hindu and the Businessline editorial analysis. We'll meet you tomorrow with some more interesting topics on this aspect. Till then, take care.